So make a magic ring and then do 1 chain, and do not count this one as a stitch. And in the magic ring we will do 5 single crochet. Pull the yarn to close the loop, and then do 1 slip stitch into the first stitch. For the second row we will do 1 chain, and do not count this one as a stitch, and then we will do 5 single crochet increase, and then we will have 10 single crochet when we finish this row 2. So that 5 single crochet increase, and now you should have 10 single crochet, and then do 1 slip stitch into the front loops of the first stitch. And in row 3 we will be working on the front loops only. And now you're going to do 4 chains, and in the second chain we're going to do a slip stitch, then another 2 slip stitch. So you're going to do 3 slip stitch, and then slip in the same loops. Now do 1 slip stitch in the next front loop, then 1 more slip stitch, then repeat 4 chains and 3 slip stitch. Then slip in that same loop and slips into the next front loop, and then 1 more slip stitch. Now do 1 slip stitch into the last stitch. So now you finished row 3. For row 4 we will be working on the back loops. Then do 1 chain, and do not count this one as a stitch, and you will do a pattern of 1 single crochet and then 1 single crochet increase. One single crochet and 1 single crochet increase, and repeat it 5 times until you have 15 stitches. And do a slip stitch into the front loop of the first one here. You can use the marker to mark the back loops of the first stitch here. Okay, so now we will do the second row of the pistil. So here you will do 5 chains, and then from the second chain do 4 slip stitch. Sorry, do a slip stitch here first, and then you will skip the next loop and do a slip stitch into the following front loops, and then do 5 chains again, and then 4 slip stitch into the chain. and then slip stitch into the same stitch. Then again skip one and slip stitch into the next front loops and do 5 chains. So when you finish, you have 7 pistil for the second layer. You can do a slip stitch into the last stitch here, and that is the end of the pistil. Do 1 chain and then you can cut the yarn. So we'll start from the marker. And make 1 chain, and do not count this one as a stitch. And then you're going to do 15 single crochet along the back loops of the previous row. So there's no increase in this row. You just do 15 single crochet. Okay, so we finished 15 single crochet, and now you do a slip stitch into the front loop of the first stitch. So now we will start the first layer of the flower. So the first layer we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals in total, and each petal will be working on 3 stitches of the base. So you can see you will have a couple of rows working into the same stitch of the base. So please pay very close attention to where the row will end, and make sure that each petal won't be working on only 3 stitches of the base. The first row of the petal we will start with 11 chains. So that 11 chains. So from the second chain, this is the first one, from the second one, we will do 8 half double crochet. This flower we only use normal crochet stitches. We don't use Afghan stitches. So hopefully it will be easier for you. Then you're gonna do 2 single crochet. Then you're gonna slip stitch into the front loop of the second stitch. So this is the first stitch. The stitch that you do the slip stitch to start row 2, this is we call this the first stitch. So you're gonna do the slip stitch into the second one. Okay. Now turn the work. Before I turn the work, I'll show you this is the last stitch, which we just do the slip stitch. Yeah. So when you turn your work, we will skip that first stitch. We will skip that first stitch, and we will always working on the second one. So before you end the row, identify the second stitch, so it'll be easier for you when you start the second, when you turn your work and start the second row. Okay, so we will start with the second stitch here, and you will do 2 single crochet, and then do 8 half double crochet. This is the last stitch. At 8 half double crochet, and then you do 1 chain and turn your work. So from the first stitch, sometimes it's confusing where to start your work when you turn. So when I say start from the first stitch, okay, I undo that 1 chain, and you will identify this is the last stitch of the second row. So you do 1 chain and turn your work. So when the pattern says start from the first stitch, you will insert your hook here in the marker. And you will do 8 half double crochet, then do 2 single crochet, and then these last stitches here, last single crochet here, should be where you start your next row. Put a marker so it's easier for you to track. So now you will do a slip stitch into the second stitch, which means into the same loop that you slip stitch in the row before. Turn your work. The pattern says keep 1, which means you skip that slip stitch that you just did and start in the marker. And then do 2 single crochet, and then do 6 half double crochet, and from here do 4 chains. Turn your work. From the second chain, skip the first one, start from the second chain. You will do 9 half double crochet, and then do 2 single crochet, so again this will be where you start your next row. And then here you will do a slip stitch into the front loop of the third stitch, which means you will move to the next one. Turn your work and do start the row in the marker here. Then do 2 single crochet, then do 9 half double crochet, the last stitch here. And then we will start from the second loop. So skip the first one here and start from the second one. You will do 8 half double crochet. Then 2 single crochet. Then here you're going to do a slip stitch into the same third stitch here. And turn your work, skip 1, and then do 2 single crochet. Then do 8 half double crochet. One chain and turn your work. So skip the first one and we'll be working on the second loop. From here you will do 7 half double crochet. 7, and then do 2 single crochet. Then you will do a slip stitch into the next front loops. So this is the fourth. So this is where we start. This is the first stitch. Second stitch, have 2 rows. Third stitch, and then the fourth stitch. The fourth stitch is also the starting for the second layer. So it means that each layer we will be working on 3 stitches of the base only. So that finish the first petal. So to start the next petal, you will do the chain stitch immediately. You don't need to do any other slip stitch. And this will be also the first stitch of the next petal. So again, do 11 chains. Okay, so now you finished 5 petals of the first layer. So you will do a slip stitch into the first slip stitch here, where you start the first petal. This one. And then do a slip stitch into the back loops. So find the first back loop here. And then do a slip stitch. So we'll start making the base for the second layer. You do 1 chain and do not count this one as a stitch. And we will do a pattern of 2 single crochet and then 1 single crochet increase and repeat it 5 times. So 1 single crochet, 2, and then 1 single crochet increase. So at the end of this row, you will have 20 stitches in total. So that 20 single crochet, and then we do a slip stitch into the front loop of the first stitch. So now we'll start the second layer of petal. So this layer, you will have 5 petals, and each petal is work on 4 stitches of the base. And we will have 15 rows for each petal. So you will see that it's going to be very crowded, and you need to pay very close attention to when the row, where the row will end and where we're going to do the slip stitch. And also when you're doing this petal always make sure that you count the row so you know which row are you working on, because it's very easy to get lost. Okay, so to start the petal, we will do 13 chains. And then from the second loops, we're gonna do 10 half double crochet. So skip the first one and insert your hook into the second loop. And then do 10 half double crochet. Then do 2 single crochet. So again, like the previous row, you can mark the last single crochet so you know this is where you're going to start the second row. And then the last stitch, we will do a slip stitch into the first front loops. This one, the first one, the one that you do the slip stitch to start the row. And turn the work, skip one, and restart in the marker. And you will do 2 single crochet. Then you're going to do 11 half double crochet. So the 10th half double crochet is the last one here, and we do 1 more half double crochet. So the 11th half double crochet, you will insert your hook in here on the top to that 11 half double crochet. Then you're going to do 1 chain and then turn your work, and you're going to do 11 half double crochet and start from the first one here. And then 2 single crochet. Mark the last one. Okay, and now you're going to do a slip stitch into the next front loop, the second one. Turn your work and then do 2 single crochet and start from the marker. Then do 11 half double crochet. And do 1 chain. Then turn your work. And we're going to do 2 slip stitch. Start from the first one. Then you're going to do 9 half double crochet. Then 2 single crochet. And here we're going to do a slip stitch into the same front loop, the second front loop. Turn your work, skip one, and do 2 single crochet. And then do 8 half double crochet. Add 8 half double crochet, and then you're going to do 4 chains. Turn your work and do 11 half double crochet from the second chain. Do 3 half double crochet on the chain, and then insert your hook through both loops here. And do 11 half double crochet in total. That 11 half double crochet, and then do 2 single crochet. Then you're going to do a slip stitch into the next front loop, the third one. So pay attention that this is the third front loop. Now turn your work and skip one, insert your hook into the second stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochet. And then you're going to do 12 half double crochet here. Nine, 10, 11. 11 is the last stitch, and then the 12th half double crochet will be do it on the top here. That 12 half double crochet, and then you do 1 chain. Okay, so this is the last stitch. So when you turn your work, you will skip this one, and we're working on the second stitch, and you're going to do 11 half double crochet. We'll skip this one, insert your hook into the second stitch. And then do 2 single crochet. So at the end of row 9, now you're going to do a slip stitch into the same front loop, the same third front loop, and turn your work. Row 10, I'm going to do 2 single crochet, and then do 11 half double crochet. And then do 1 chain. Row 11, turn and skip 1. And from the second stitch, we're going to do 10 half double crochet. And then the last 2 stitch is the 2 single crochet. And then here you're going to do a slip stitch into the next front loop. So this is going to be the 4th front loop. And turn your work. Again, skip one. Sorry, skip one. Skip that slip stitch. And then do 2 single crochet. This is row 12. And then you're going to do 8 half double crochet. A double crochet, half double crochet. Then you're going to do 4 chain. So this will be the other part of the petal. Then from the second chain, you're going to start doing half double crochet, and you're going to do total of 11 half double crochet. Then do 2 single crochet. And then at the end of row 13, you're going to do a slip stitch into the same front loop, the 4th one. And turn your work, and then do 2 single crochet. This is row 14. Then do 10 half double crochet. And then do 1 chain. And turn your work, skip the first one, skip the first one. And from the second stitch, we're going to do 9 half double crochet. So this is the last row of the petal. Nine half double crochet, and then in the last 2 stitches we're going to do 2 single crochet. Then to finish, you're going to do a slip stitch into the next front loop. So this is the 5th front loop. This is the end of the first petal, and it's also the start of the next petal. So to start the next petal, you will do the chain stitch, and then you will count this one as the first base stitch of the second petal. So again, repeat the process, and then follow the pattern carefully. Make sure that you do the slip stitch in the correct base stitch. If you are not very confident with counting the base stitch, you can use the marker and mark each set of 4 stitches for each petal, so you make sure that you not slip into the wrong one. Like, for example, you can do like this. So these 4 stitches will be for the last petal, and then the other 4 will be for the other petal. So in this way, you can keep track of the base stitches that you slip into, and I'll see you when you finish all the 5 petals. And when doing this second layer, the flower might get very heavy and hard to work, so you might just use a rubber band and secure it. like, and then you can easily work on the other petals. So when you finished all the 5 petals of the second layer, we will do a slip stitch to end the last one. Do a slip stitch into, you can do a slip stitch into the last one here, like a chain stitch, and then you can cut the yarn. Okay, now use the green yarn to make the sepal. We can start from the first back loop here, and we want to a row, a base row for the sepal. Make 1 chain and do not count this one as a stitch, and you will do a pattern of 1 single crochet and then 1 single crochet increase. Repeat it 10 times to have a total of 30 stitches. So make 1 single crochet here, then 1 single crochet increase, and repeat. Okay, so you finished 30 stitches. Now do a slip stitch into the first front loop, and for this row we won't be working on the front loops only. To start, we're gonna do 5 chains, and then we're gonna work on the vertical bar of the chain stitch. So starting from the second bar, this is the first one, skip this one and insert your hook into the second bar. And you're gonna do 3 unfinished single crochet. And then 1 unfinished single crochet into the next front loop. So you will have 5 strands of yarn on your hook, and then pull the yarn through 2 loops at a time. Row 2, we're going to do 3 chains, and then again from the second bar, skip the first one, insert your hook into the second bar, and we're going to do 5 unfinished single crochet into the vertical bar. Then 1 unfinished single crochet into the next front loop. Then you will have 7 strands of yarn on your hook. And pull through. Row 3, gonna do 5 chains. Then again from the second bar, you're gonna do 4 slip stitch. So skip the first one, insert your hook into the second one, and then do 4 slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 slip stitch. And then you here see here there are 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 vertical bar. You're gonna do 5 unfinished single crochets into those vertical bar. 2, 5, and then one more unfinished single crochet into the next front loop. Then you should have 7 strands of yarn on your hook. Pull it through. Row 4, chain 1, and then from the second vertical bar you're going to do 2 slip stitch from the second one. 1 slip stitch, and then second slip stitch. And you see here there are 3 bars left. You're going to do 3 unfinished single crochet, and then 1 more unfinished single crochet into the next front loop. Row 5, do 1 chain, and from the second vertical bar you're going to do 3 slip stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And then do a slip stitch into the next front loop. So you finished 1 sepal. So each sepal will be work on 6 stitches of the base, and you will have 5 sepals in total. To start the next one, do a slip stitch into the next front loop, and then repeat 5 chains. Okay, so if you finish the last sepal, do a slip stitch into the last front loop, and now do a slip stitch into the first back loop. This one here. And then you're going to do 30 single crochet into the back loops. Make 1 chain and do not count this one as a stitch. And then make 30 single crochet. So when you finish 30 single crochet, do a slip stitch into the first one. Now we insert the hook into both loops. We're going to work on both loops from this one. Then do 1 chain and do not count this one as a stitch. And we're going to do a decreasing pattern of 4 single crochet and then 1 single crochet decrease. 2, 3, 4 single crochet, and then you're going to do a decrease. So insert your hook into the front loop of the first stitch, then front loop of the second stitch. Pull the yarn, and pull the yarn again. So this is how you decrease single crochet. And then do repeat 4 single crochet and 1 decrease for a total of 5 times. And you should have 35 stitches at the end of this row. Okay, this is the last decrease. Then slip into the first stitch. And then the second row of decrease is 3 single crochet and then 1 single crochet decrease. So make 1 chain and make 3 single crochet. Again, 1 decrease. Then do a slip stitch into the first stitch, and for the next row we're going to do 2 single crochet and then 1 decrease one chain, and then do 2 single crochet, then 1 decrease, and repeat. Do a slip stitch into the first one, next make 1 chain and we're gonna decrease by 1 single crochet and then 1 decrease. At this row, I'm just gonna do the normal decrease by crochet 2 stitches together. It's easier to do. Then pick up the front loops 2 decrease. Now you can use a stem wire and then the top of it. And insert it into the sepal. So you can cut the yarn and leave a tail, and then use a needle. Now insert the needle through each front loops from the front to the back. And then you can pull it tight. And then secure it a few times. Okay, so now we're gonna make the leaf. You will need a wire of about 40 centimeter. And we will start with the green yarn. Make a slip knot. And we're gonna do 29 chains. 29 chains. And you add the wire. Fold the wire. And then make 2 more chains. So we won't be working on the vertical bar at the back of the chains. So you see the bar that is connected to the wire here. Insert the hook and do a slip stitch. And then into the next vertical bar, we're going to start doing the single stitch, and we're going to make 17 single crochet along the chain. And when you do the single crochet, wrap the yarn through the wire as well. So 17 single crochet. And now you're going to turn your work. And skip the first one. Skip the first one here and insert your hook into the second stitch. And we're going to do 11 single crochet. And then do 1 slip stitch. Turn your work. Make 1 chain first. And then turn your work. Skip the first one. Skip the first one and insert your hook into the second one. And do a slip stitch. And then you're going to do 10 single crochet. That 10 single crochet, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the vertical bar here. And then do 1 half double crochet into the junction here. So the last base stitch. Okay. And then we're going to do 3 half double crochet into the base. 1, 2, 3. And then turn your work. Skip 1. Skip the first one. And insert your hook into the second stitch. And we're going to do 10 single crochet. Then do 1 slip stitch, chain 1, turn your work. Again, skip the first one and do a slip stitch into the second stitch. Then you're going to do 10 single crochet. And then you're going to do 1 single crochet into the vertical bar here. Then 1 half double crochet into the junction at the base. And then you're going to do 4 half double crochet into the base. Then turn your work. Skip 1, insert your hook into the second one, and again we're going to do 10 single crochet. and then 1 slip stitch, then chain 1, turn your work, skip 1, do a slip stitch into the next one, and then do 10 single crochet. Nine, and the 10th single crochet is on the vertical bar here. And then 1 half double crochet at the junction, and then you're going to do 4 half double crochet in the chain, in the vertical bar, in the chain stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you should have 1 last vertical bar, and that should be correct. So turn your work, and then skip the first one, and insert your hook. Skip the first one, insert your hook into the second one, and do 10 single crochet. Single crochet, and then do 1 slip stitch. Now chain 1, turn your work, skip 1, skip the first one, and do a slip stitch into the second one, second stitch. And then you're going to do again 10 single crochet. Nine, the 10 will be in the vertical bar here. And then do 1 half double crochet at the junction here. And then at the last vertical bar, you're going to do 1 single crochet. That's how you finish one side of the leaf. Now wrap the yarn around the leaf like this and secure it. And we will work on the other side. So when you finished on this side, just cut the yarn, and we will start on the other side with a new yarn. So find the stitch where we're going to start our work. So you will see the first, this is the slip stitch. So you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start from the 5th V stitch from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert the yarn. Make sure that we will keep the yarn toward the back of the leaves. Now you do 1 chain, and in the next V stitch we start doing the single crochet. Make sure that you insert, wrap the yarn through this ending tail as well, and you're going to do 15 single crochet. Okay, so that's 15 single crochet, and then turn your work. Skip the first one, insert your hook into the second stitch, and you're going to do 10 single crochet. Then do 1 slip stitch, then 1 chain, and turn your work. From the second stitch, do a slip stitch. So skip the first one, do a slip stitch into the second one, and then do 10 single crochet. Nine, and the 10th one is insert your hook into the bar here. And then do 1 half double crochet into the last stitch at the junction here. Then you're going to do 4 half double crochet into the base. Turn your work. You can cut this yarn. Turn your work, so skip one. From the second one, I'm going to do 10 single crochet. And 1 slip stitch, chain 1, turn, and skip 1 and do a slip stitch into the second stitch, and do 10 single crochet. The chain 1 on the vertical bar, and then 1 half double crochet in the junction at the base. Then you're going to do 4 half double crochet into the V loop at the base. Four. So you should have 1 last V loops here. That should be correct. Now turn your work, and again from the second stitch you're going to do 10 single crochet. And 1 slip stitch, chain 1, turn, do a slip stitch into the second stitch, then do 10 single crochet. The last single crochet is in the vertical bar, and then you do 1 half double crochet into the junction, and then the last stitch here, the last V loop here, do 1 single crochet. Then wrap the yarn again around the bow wire and secure it.